There's a moment in every person's life when they stop and ask the question, is this all there is? A quiet moment when the world goes still, when the noise fades, when the distractions disappear, and something deep inside whispers, you were meant for more than this. And for most people, that whisper is ignored. They hear it, they feel it, it shakes them, and then they go right back to the habits, routines, fears, and doubts that have kept them where they are. But there are a few, just a rare few, who hear that voice and decide to listen. They decide to change everything. They decide to become the person they were meant to be. What separates those few from the many? What allows one human being to rise from ordinary to extraordinary while others repeat the same year 80 times and call it a life? The answer is not luck. It is not talent. It is not background, education, or circumstance. The difference is this: the people who transform their lives discover a secret powerful enough to alter the course of human destiny. And that secret is simple, elegant, and undeniable. We become what we think about. Consider that for a moment. Not briefly, not casually. Think deeply. We become what we think about. Your life right now is the exact reflection of the thoughts you have allowed to dominate your mind. The world around you, the results you experience, the opportunities you receive, the limits you face, all of them are the product of your own thinking. Your mind is the most powerful force you possess, yet most people never learn how to use it. They drift, they react, they follow the path of least resistance. They wait for things to improve, never realizing that nothing changes until they do. If a person thinks thoughts of success, purpose, discipline, strength, contribution, growth, he will become successful, purposeful, disciplined, strong, valuable, and continually improving. If he thinks thoughts of fear, doubt, anger, resentment, jealousy, and limitation, those things will take root and grow like weeds until they choke every possibility he once had. The mind is a garden. You cannot control the weather, but you can choose what seeds to plant, and crops always reflect the seed. If you plant weeds, you will harvest weeds. If you plant corn, you will harvest corn. The laws of the universe do not bend for anyone, yet most people let weeds grow uncontrolled. They think about what they fear instead of what they want. They worry about their weaknesses instead of building their strengths. They spend more time imagining failure than planning success. They recite excuses instead of constructing solutions. They consume distractions instead of investing in growth. And the world gives them exactly what they asked for without even realizing they asked for it. Every great achievement in history began with an idea, a thought held consistently, nurtured with faith, and fueled by action. Every building, every invention, every great company, every work of art, every scientific breakthrough, every life that became extraordinary began with someone daring to think differently. The world you live in was shaped by the minds of those who refused to accept the limits given to them. Their minds were no more powerful than yours. The difference is that they decided to use theirs. Right now, at this very moment, your future is forming, quietly, invisibly, based on the thoughts you choose to hold. What you consistently think about is precisely what your life will become. You do not need permission. You do not need approval. You do not need guarantees. You need a decision. You must decide what you truly want. Most people never decide. They say they want a better life, but they cannot define it. They say they want success, but they never choose a direction. They say they want change, but they repeat yesterday every day. They live by wishes instead of decisions. The secret to becoming the person you were meant to be begins with clarity. A human being without a goal is like a ship without a captain. It may drift for days, months, even years, but it will never reach a meaningful destination. 70 out of 100 people will never choose a goal. They will never write down what they want. They will spend their lives reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. And when their time is nearly gone, they will wonder why they never lived the life they dreamed about. But you are here now listening to these words because something inside you refuses to be average. Something inside you knows there is a version of you waiting to be unlocked, a version stronger, wiser, more capable, more disciplined, more fulfilled than the person you are today. That version of you cannot be reached by accident. It must be built, it must be earned, and it begins in the mind long before it appears in the world. Imagine for a moment the person you could become if you dedicated the next 6 months to radical self-development. What would happen if you replaced distractions with learning, excuses with effort, procrastination with discipline, and doubt with belief? What would happen if you stopped living in the past and started designing the future? What would happen if you truly committed, not casually, not temporarily, but completely? I will tell you what would happen. Your life would change in ways you cannot yet imagine. The ordinary would become extraordinary. Opportunities you once believed were impossible would begin appearing. People would look at you differently. You would look at yourself differently. You would rise. But transformation requires responsibility. You must accept that everything you are today, every result you have, every limitation you face, is the sum of the choices you have made, not fate, not luck, choice. When a person accepts total responsibility for their life, they gain total power to change it. Responsibility is not a burden, it is the key to freedom. The moment you stop blaming circumstances, you start controlling outcomes. If you want a different life, you must adopt a different standard. You must think differently, speak differently, act differently, and live differently. You must surround yourself with voices that strengthen your resolve instead of weakening your spirit. You must choose habits that construct your future instead of destroying it. Success is never a mystery. It is a process, a formula, a law. Every morning a person wakes up with two choices, to repeat yesterday or to create something new. Most choose repetition, because repetition is comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort convinces a man to settle for less than he is capable of becoming. Comfort gives temporary pleasure at the cost of permanent regret. You were not created to merely survive. You were designed to grow, to contribute, to progress, to evolve, to rise. The greatest tragedy is not failure. The greatest tragedy is potential never developed, potential wasted, potential buried. The world does not need another average life. It needs the strongest, most capable version of you. Ask yourself right now, what would my life look like if I stopped holding back? What would happen if I stopped waiting for the right moment and made this moment right? What would happen if I believed fully, acted boldly, and pursued relentlessly? The people who achieve extraordinary things are not the people who never failed. They are the people who refuse to stay down. They fall, they rise, they are knocked off course, they correct. They experience doubt, but they do not surrender to it. Their vision becomes stronger than their fear. Their commitment becomes stronger than their excuses. Their purpose becomes stronger than their comfort. And soon the world calls them lucky, not realizing luck is merely preparation meeting opportunity. You have a mind capable of shaping the direction of your life. You have thoughts capable of building or destroying everything you touch. You have within you right now the ability to become the person you were meant to be, not someday, not eventually, now, today, in this very moment. Change does not begin tomorrow. It begins the moment you decide. The mind once stretched by a powerful thought can never return to its original state. The person who discovers his purpose can never go back to drifting. The individual who commits to growth can never tolerate stagnation again. From this moment forward, you must hold one thought firmly, consistently, relentlessly. You were designed for greatness. You were built for achievement. You were created with the capacity to shape your world. Your mind is your greatest asset. Guard it, feed it, direct it, and it will create a life beyond anything you have ever known. We become what we think about. And if you dare to think magnificently, your life will unfold magnificently. And so, if we are to continue, let us go even deeper into the truth that most people never hear, the truth that separates the life you have from the life you desire. The truth is that the greatest power any human being possesses is the ability to choose their thoughts. Not occasionally, not when convenient, but continuously. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. The mind will create whatever you instruct it to create, whether you command greatness or whether you allow fear to command you. Most people wander through life letting the world think for them. They allow television, social media, gossip, negativity, and noise to fill their minds. They absorb the fears of others. They inherit the limitations of others. They accept opinions instead of building beliefs. They spend more time reacting than thinking, and without realizing it, they surrender control of the most powerful tool they have, the mind. You must discipline your mind the way an athlete disciplines the body. You must train it, strengthen it, direct it. A mind without discipline becomes a prisoner to circumstance. A disciplined mind creates circumstances. Every morning before the world has a chance to influence you, ask yourself, what kind of person do I intend to become today? What qualities will I strengthen? What thoughts will I allow to guide me? What actions will I take that move me toward the life I envision? A person who begins each day with purpose holds the steering wheel of their destiny. A person who doesn't becomes a passenger in someone else's journey. You must decide what you want, and commit to it so fully that doubt has no space to grow. Most people make weak decisions. They say, I hope it works. Maybe someday I'll try. And those words become their reality. Trying is the language of failure. Commitment is the language of achievement. When a person truly commits, the world bends to make room for him. Doors open, strength appears, people arrive, circumstances align, not by accident, but by law. The world will always reflect your expectations. Expect failure, and you will find it. Expect success, and you will create it. Expect difficulty, and you will live in struggle. Expect growth, and you will rise through challenge. Your expectations form the foundation of your reality. There is no secret more powerful than this. Act as the person you intend to become. Think like them, speak like them, work like them, live like them. If you wish to become strong, do what strong people do. If you wish to become disciplined, adopt the habits of the disciplined. If you wish to become successful, study success, practice success, live success. Not tomorrow, but today. Every action counts. Every decision compounds. Every disciplined day builds upon the next until greatness becomes inevitable. And what once seemed impossible becomes ordinary. You are not limited by your past. You are limited only by the thoughts you choose to keep. Right now, as you hear these words, life is offering you a choice to remain as you are or to step into the greatest version of yourself. The path will not always be easy, but nothing meaningful is ever easy. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Muscles grow through resistance. Trees develop deep roots through storms, and human beings become powerful through challenge. You must welcome challenge, not fear it. The person you are destined to become lives on the other side of difficulty. When you encounter a challenge, ask not, why is this happening to me? But what strength is this shaping in me? Every struggle carries a lesson. Every setback carries direction. Every hardship builds character. Those who understand this rise. Those who do not remain where they are. You must become the master of your own mind and not the victim of it. You must understand that every thought you allow is a vote for the person you become. Ask yourself daily, is this thought strengthening me? Is it building me? Is it directing me? Or is it weakening me? A mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts at once. You either think success or you think failure. You either think possibility or limitation. You either think courage or fear. The moment a negative thought enters, replace it instantly with a positive one. Not someday, not later, immediately. Treat a negative thought the same way you would treat poison. Reject it, overwrite it, replace it. Feed the mind only that which serves the vision you hold for your life. The person you were meant to be is not found, it is created. Built by daily effort, shaped by consistent discipline, constructed by unwavering focus. You do not discover your best self by chance or by waiting for inspiration. You build it through choice after choice, action after action, day after day. You sculpt it, you refine it, you earn it. And one day, without fanfare, without announcement, you will wake up and realize you have become someone unrecognizable from who you once were. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone capable, someone admirable, someone the world respects, someone you respect. And when that day comes, you will look back on the moment you made the decision to change and realize it was the single most important moment of your life. Nothing about your future is written except what you write in your mind. Nothing about your destiny is fixed except what you decide is fixed. Nothing about your potential is capped except what you believe is capped. The power has always belonged to you. All that is required is that you use it. The secret to becoming the person you were meant to be is not hidden. It is not complicated. It is not mystical. It is simply this: decide what you want. Think about it constantly. Refuse to quit, and you will become it. For we become what we think about. And when you choose your thoughts with purpose, discipline, clarity, and conviction, you transform your life, not someday, now.